The Middle East, a region steeped in history and conflict, is once again at a crossroads. The Trump administration's recent proposal, dubbed the Riviera Plan, has sent shockwaves through the region and beyond. This ambitious and some would say audacious plan calls for a radical solution to the seemingly intractable Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The proposal centers around the relocation of Gaza's 2.4 million Palestinian residents to both Egypt and Jordan. In their place, a glittering Riviera would rise along the Mediterranean coast, envisioned as a hub of tourism and economic activity under U.S. management. The plan also outlines the dismantling of Hamas's weaponry and a U.S.-led reconstruction effort in Gaza. However, this vision has been met with near-universal condemnation from the Arab world, putting the U.S. at odds with key regional allies like Egypt, Jordan, and even Saudi Arabia. Critics argue that the plan not only disregards existing peace treaties but also threatens to further destabilize an already volatile region. The forced displacement of Palestinians would be a humanitarian disaster, they contend, and would likely ignite further conflict. The proposal has been particularly difficult for Egypt and Jordan, both of whom share borders with Gaza and have absorbed Palestinian refugees in the past. The Riviera Plan has exposed deep divisions within the Middle East and has the potential to reshape alliances and redefine the U.S.'s role in the region for years to come. The meeting took place in February of 2025 and centered around the proposed Riviera Plan. In a resounding rejection of the U.S. proposal, Arab leaders convened in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for what has been described as the most consequential summit in decades. The gathering, held on February 21, 2025, brought together key players including Egypt, Jordan, and the Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC countries. The summit served as a platform for Arab leaders to present a united front against the Trump administration's plan and to chart a new course for Gaza's reconstruction. Discussions centered around a comprehensive plan to rebuild Gaza, focusing not on displacement but on rehabilitation and development. However, despite the show of unity, internal disagreements surfaced regarding the governance of the reconstruction process and, more importantly, its funding. The question of who would ultimately foot the bill for Gaza's reconstruction remains a major sticking point, highlighting the complexities of the issue. The leaders of Egypt, Jordan, and the GCC countries all gathered in Riyadh on February 21, 2025 to discuss the proposed Riviera Plan. The devastation in Gaza is extensive, a grim testament to the human cost of conflict. The United Nations estimates that over $53 billion will be needed to rebuild the war-torn territory. A phased approach to reconstruction has been proposed with the initial focus on early recovery efforts, such as debris removal and the provision of essential services. This would be followed by an international conference to solidify detailed plans and secure funding for the rebuilding of critical infrastructure. The final phase envisions a comprehensive urban planning effort, encompassing housing, healthcare, education, and other essential services. Central to the reconstruction plan is the establishment of a governance structure that ensures transparency and accountability. The proposed model involves a Palestinian administration operating under the auspices of the Palestinian Authority, distinctly separate from any existing factions, including Hamas. This approach aims to foster unity and prevent the diversion of funds. However, the question of funding remains the most daunting challenge. The photo shows the wreckage of buildings in Gaza after the October 2023 war. Egypt, a cornerstone of regional stability, has emerged as a vocal critic of the Trump administration's Riviera Plan. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has firmly rejected the proposal for the mass displacement of Palestinians, emphasizing its inherent threat to the 1979 Egyptian-Israeli peace treaty. Egypt's stance is rooted in its commitment to a two-state solution and its unwavering support for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. Cairo prioritizes a reconstruction effort that focuses on rebuilding Gaza without displacing its residents, emphasizing the importance of upholding Palestinian rights. Since the devastating Gaza war of October 2023, Egypt has allowed limited entry of Gazans into its territory for essential medical care and family reunification purposes. However, this humanitarian gesture has placed additional strain on Egypt, a country already grappling with its own challenges, including a large refugee population from conflicts in Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. Al-Sisi has publicly denounced the Trump administration's proposal. Section 5. Jordan's resolute non-Jordan, like Egypt, has categorically rejected the notion of absorbing Palestinians displaced from Gaza. Amman views the U.S. proposal as not only impractical, but also as a direct threat to its national security, and a blatant violation of the Jordanian-Israeli peace treaty. The Jordanian public, echoing the government's stance, has expressed its vehement opposition to the plan, taking to the streets in large-scale demonstrations. The message is clear: Jordan will not be a party to any scheme that undermines Palestinian rights or jeopardizes its own stability. The economic and security challenges facing Jordan, including high unemployment and water scarcity, would only be exacerbated by a sudden influx of Palestinian refugees. Jordan's King Abdullah II, in a rare display of public disagreement with a U.S. president, personally conveyed his country's unwavering opposition to the Riviera Plan during his meeting with President Trump on February 11, 2025. Thousands of Jordanians flooded the streets of Amman, the nation's capital, to voice their anger at the U.S. proposal. Section 6. Saudi Arabia, a balancing act. Saudi Arabia, the regional powerhouse and a key U.S. ally, has also voiced its opposition to the Trump administration's plan for Gaza. Riyadh's rejection, while more measured in tone compared to Egypt and Jordan's, is nonetheless significant. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the kingdom's de facto ruler, has been directly involved in efforts to counter the U.S. proposal. In an uncommon move, MBS held a direct phone call with Jordan's King Abdullah II to discuss the issue, underscoring the gravity of the situation. Saudi Arabia's stance is rooted in its desire to maintain stability in the region and its long-standing support for a Palestinian state based on the pre-1967 borders. The kingdom's rejection of the U.S. plan is also a reflection of public sentiment within Saudi Arabia, where support for the Palestinian cause runs deep. MBS has been actively involved in diplomatic efforts to address the fallout from the U.S. proposal, including engaging in direct conversations with regional leaders. Section 7. U.S.-Saudi relations at a crossroads. The Riviera Plan has placed a significant strain on U.S.-Saudi relations, which were already tested in recent years. The proposal has cast a shadow over ongoing negotiations between the two countries concerning a potential U.S.-Saudi nuclear deal and the provision of security guarantees to Riyadh. The plan's implicit endorsement of Israel's position on the Palestinian issue makes it increasingly difficult for Saudi Arabia to move forward with any normalization agreement with Israel, a key objective of the Trump administration. The potential backlash from the Arab Street, already wary of Saudi Arabia's close ties with the U.S., further complicates matters for Riyadh. The Riviera Plan has presented Saudi Arabia with a delicate balancing act. Section 8. A strengthened U.S.-Egypt partnership. Amidst the diplomatic fallout from the Riviera Plan, the relationship between the United States and Egypt appears to have emerged stronger. The two countries have witnessed a deepening of their diplomatic ties in recent years, particularly in the realm of regional security and counter-terrorism efforts. Egypt, under President al-Sisi, has played a crucial mediating role between Israel and the Palestinian factions, a role that has been acknowledged and supported by the U.S. The two countries have also collaborated on initiatives aimed at promoting regional peace and stability, particularly in Libya and Yemen. The Trump administration's decision to restore military aid to Egypt in 2018, which had been suspended under the Obama administration, was a clear indication of the growing strategic importance of the U.S.-Egypt partnership. The two countries have witnessed a deepening of their diplomatic ties in recent years. Section 9. The path forward towards a lasting peace. The reverberations of the Riviera Plan continue to be felt across the Middle East. The proposal, while now seemingly dead in the water, has highlighted the urgent need for a renewed and reinvigorated peace process in the region. The status quo is simply unsustainable. Egypt, with its strong regional standing and its credibility with both Israelis and Palestinians, is uniquely positioned to play a leading role in facilitating a return to negotiations. The U.S., while its credibility has been dented by the Riviera debacle, remains a critical player in any peace process. A lasting solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict must be predicated on a two-state solution. with an independent and viable Palestinian state coexisting peacefully alongside Israel. The international community must also step up and share the burden of Gaza's reconstruction, providing not only financial assistance but also the diplomatic support needed to bring about a just and lasting peace.